In the first 6 slokas of chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita, we saw Duryodhana, appraising Dronacharya of the key aspects, various aspects of the Pandava army, and he also made a list of the key warriors of the Pandava army. And now he talks about the Kaurava army. Asmakam tu vishishtaye tani bodha dvijotama nayaka mama sainyasya sajñartam tan bravimite. So, asmakam tu vishishtaye. Asmakam on our side also, asmakam tu vishishtaye. There are warriors with some unique qualities. There are many kings who are very powerful. They have a huge army. And then there are many other warriors with some secret weapons that can inflict all kinds of damage on the enemy side. And then you have very brave, strong people who are adept at warfare. So, Tan Niboda Dvijotama. Tan, that is, here Tan refers to all those warriors. Niboda, get to know. Bodha is know, get to know. Dvijotama. So, addressing Dronacharya as Dvijotama, that is Dvija Uttama. Dvija means Brahmin. Oh, great among Brahmins. Okay, get to know about the key warriors on our side, on the Kaurava side. So, Ja means born. Dvija means born twice. So, a Brahmin is said to be born twice. First time when he is naturally born, and the second time when he has this thread ceremony. So, addressing Dronacharya as Dvijotama, he says, get to know about our warriors. Nayaka mama sainyasya sajñartam tan bravimite. Nayaka, the key generals, the key warriors. Mama sainyasya, my army's warriors, key warriors. Sajñartam tan bravimite. Tan abravimi. Tan here refers to once again those warriors. I am going to tell you about abravimi. Tell. Te sajñartam. Te here refers to Dronacharya. Sajñartam. Nya is knowledge. So for your knowledge, I am going to tell about the key warriors on my own, on our own side. That is Mama Sainyasya. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripascha Samitinjayah Ashvattama Vikarnascha Somadattistataivacha. Bhavan, at the very outset he says, you, that is Bhavan, with respect he says, you are one of the foremost among the Kaurava warriors. So, Dronacharya was Bharadwaja Maharishi's son. He was well versed in Astra, Shastra Vidya, also well versed in Vedas, Vedangas. He was a student of Parashurama and he had knowledge of some secret weapons. So, he was considered to be one of the greatest warriors of his times. So, Bhavan, foremost among the Kaurava warriors. Then Bhishmascha. Bhishma, very fondly called Bhishma Pitamaha by both Kauravas and Pandavas. He is also called Kuru Vriddaha, that is one of the eldest of the Kuru Vamsha. His name Bhishma. Bhishma means frightful. Because he took a frightful vow, he is called Bhishma. He was a son of Ganga Devi and Shantanu. That's why, because he was a son of Ganga Devi, he is called Gangeya and Shantanu. So, Bhishma's father Shantanu, he wanted to marry a fisherwoman Satyavati, and Satyavati's father had put a condition. The condition was that only Satyavati's children could become the king. So, neither Bhishma nor his children could ever become the king of the Kuru dynasty. So, therefore, Bhishma took, in order to facilitate the marriage of his own father, Bhishma took a frightful vow that he would remain a brahmacharya. So, he took a brahmacharya vrata, and therefore he is called Bhishma. Now, Bhishma is considered to be one of the greatest warriors of his times. He was an expert, very good at Dhanurvidya, and Bhishma's presence, he was the head of the Kaurava army, and it gave a lot, Bhishma's presence in Kaurava army, it gave a lot of confidence to Duryodhana. So, Bhavan, Bhishmascha, Karna. Next one is Karna. Karna is both a Surya Putra and Kunti Putra. So, he was a Kaunteya. So, he was the eldest of Kunti's children, and he was a great warrior. He was a student of Parashurama, and he had done penance, and he had he was able to acquire some very powerful weapons that could inflict damage on the opponent side. So he was considered to be one of the greatest of the warriors. So Bhavan, Bhishmascha, Karnascha, Kripascha. Kripacharya was Maharishi Sharadvan's son, and his sister was called Kripi. Kripi was married to Dronacharya, and their son was Ashwatthama. Before Dronacharya entered the scene, it was Kripacharya who was the guru of both the Pandavas and the Kauravas side, and also he was a guru of the Yadavas also. And Duryodhana addresses Kripacharya as Samitinjaya, someone who is always victorious in a war. So you have Bhavan, that is Dronacharya himself, Bhishma, then you have Karna, you have Kripacharya. Then Ashwatthama, the son of Kripi and Dronacharya. Dronacharya prayed to, he meditated, he did tapasya, and then Shiva was pleased with his tapasya and he gave him a boon. He asked for a son who would be equivalent to Shiva himself in terms of valor. So such was Ashwatthama's fighting capabilities. Vikarnascha. Vikarna was Duryodhana's stepbrother, and he is also called Dharmatma. During Draupadi's Vastraharana, he was the only person who was supportive of Draupadi. He pleads with the courtiers to give justice to Draupadi. So you have Vikarna, who was a Maharathi, and then you have Saumadatti. Now Saumadatti, he is Somadatta's son. So that's why he is called Saumadatti, Somadatta's son. Now who's Somadatta? Somadatta was Shantanu's elder brother's son, so a relative of Bhishma, and he was also a powerful king. And so you have Saumadatti, another powerful Maharathi. Anye cha bahavaha shuraha madarte tyakta jivitaha nana shastra praharanaha sarve yuddha visharadaha. Anye cha bahavaha shuraha. So I have made a list. The list of great warriors is not just limited to the small list that I made. There are Anye cha bahavaha. There are many other warriors also. Shuraha, very brave persons. Madarte, for my sake. Tyakta jivitaha, tyakta sacrifice. They are ready to sacrifice their lives for my sake. Nana shastra praharanaha, they are adept at using different weapons. Sarve yuddha visharadaha, they all are very skilled in warfare. So such is the Kaurava army, so powerful. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishma birakshitam Paryaptam tvidame tesham balam bhima birakshitam. So aparyaptam tat asmakam balam bhishma abhirakshitam. So asmakam balam, our army, balam is army, our army, Bhishma abhirakshitam. It is protected by Bhishma, and it is aparyaptam. It is immeasurable. Paryaptam means enough. So here Duryodhana is telling it is more than what is needed. It is more than what is required. We have such a huge army. Our army, which is protected by Bhishma, is invincible. It is unconquerable. Paryaptam tvidametesham balam bhima bhirakshitam. Paryaptam, enough. Tvidam tu idam etesham balam bhima abhirakshitam. So idam etesham, their balam army, bhima abhirakshitam, which is protected by Bhima, is paryaptam. It is just limited. Paryaptam here is limited. So their army, which is protected by Bhima, is only very limited, which means it's easily conquerable. So Duryodhana is very proud of his army because it is protected by Bhishma. So Bhishma gives a lot of confidence to Duryodhana. So here there is a comparison between Bhishma and Bhima. He says that the Kaurava army is protected by Bhishma and therefore it is aparyaptam, whereas the Pandava army protected by Bhima is paryaptam. Now why he mentions Bhima here? Bhima is not the head chief of the Pandava army. Why did he mention Bhima here? One reason could be that in his subconscious mind, Duryodhana's number one enemy is Bhima. And another thing is the comparison between Bhishma and Bhima. Now, Bhishma was, very good at Dhanurvidya. He was considered one of the greatest warriors. Bhima, on the other hand, was a very, very strong person, and he was, he was very good at wrestling. So, Duryodhana is telling that Bhima, who is a wrestler, he is no match to Bhishma, who is very good at Dhanurvidya. Ayaneshu cha sarveshu yata bhagamavastitaah bhishmamevabhirakshantu bhavantah sarva eva hi. So here in this shloka, Duryodhana is sending out a message to Dronacharya and all the other soldiers of the Kaurava army. Bhishma meva abhirakshantu. All of you protect Bhishma. Bhavantaha sarva eva hi Bhishma meva abhirakshantu. Bhavantaha, you all. Bhavantaha sarva eva hi, you all without fail. Bhishma meva abhirakshantu. Protect Bhishma. Ayaneshu cha sarveshu yata bhagam avastitaha. Ayaneshu, on the various battle fronts. Sarveshu ayaneshu, on the various battle fronts. Yata bhagam avastitaha, wherever you are stationed. So the Kaurava army is also in some vyuda, it is in some arrangement, and the various soldiers, the various generals, they are all stationed in a particular position. So being stationed in your respective positions, Bhishma meva abhirakshantu, protect Bhishma. That is the message that he sends out. Now, Bhishma was such a great warrior, and he is very much capable of protecting himself. So why this message was sent out by Duryodhana? One reason could be that Bhishma was the chief of Kaurava army, and therefore he needs to be protected. Another reason could be that Duryodhana was very much aware that Bhishma faced a threat from Shikandi, the son of Drupada. Now, Shikandi in his previous incarnation was Kashi Raja's daughter Amba. Kashi Raja held a grand Swayamvara for his three daughters Amba, Ambika and Ambalika, and the Swayamvara was attended by many, many kings, including Shalya, who was the ruler of Madra kingdom. Now, Bhishma also came to the Swayamvara and he abducted the three princesses and he presented them as brides to his stepbrother Vichitravirya. Now, Amba, she pleads to Bhishma that she loves Salya and she wants to marry him. So Bhishma sends Amba to Salya with due honors, but Salya refuses to marry her. He says that since it was Bhishma who abducted her, he is the person who needs to marry her. So but then Bhishma once again refuses to marry her because of the brahmacharya vow that he has taken. So Amba is totally frustrated. She practices austerities and she does tapasya in the forest, and she gets a boon from Shiva to kill Bhishma in her next incarnation as Drupada's daughter Shikandi. So Shikandi was born a female to Drupada, and later when Shikandi grows up, she exchanges gender with a yaksha and becomes a male. And Shikandi was in the battle, in the Mahabharata battle, to fight and kill Bhishma. But Bhishma, who knew that Shikandi was a female, he declared at the very outset, even before the war, that he would not fight Shikandi because she was a female. So Duryodhana knows that Bhishma faces a serious threat from Shikandi, and therefore he needs to be protected at all costs. So Duryodhana instructs Dronacharya and other army personnel of Kaurava army that wherever you are stationed, be stationed there and protect Bhishma at all costs. And if Shikandi were to come anywhere near Bhishma, he needs to be chased away. Tasya sanjanayan harsham kuru vriddah pitamaha simhanadam vinodyochaihi shankam dadmau pratapavan. So pratapavan kuru vriddah pitamaha. Pratapavan Tejasvi, Kuru Vriddaha, the eldest among the Kuru race, Pitamaha Bhishmacharya. Tasya Sanjanayan Harsham. Tasya here refers to Duryodhana. Sanjanayan, in order to create happiness, Harsham, in order to create happiness in Duryodhana, Simhanadam Vinodyochaihi, he roared like a lion, Uchaihi, loudly like a lion, and Shankam Dadmau. Dadmau is blow. He blew the conch. So, in order to make Duryodhana happy, Pitamaha Bhishma Pitamaha, he roared like a lion. That is to, motivate him, to encourage, that all are ready for the war, and to spread that enthusiasm among the Kauravas. He blew the conch very loudly.